So no chordates are tracheophytes, and all members of P are tracheophytes. So
So
no members of P belong to the family Hominidae.
awesome. So what is our conclusion?
No members of group P belong to the family.
All right. So how would you diagram our conclusion?
Um, so I would do C arrow
Oh,
T.
do just the
Oh,
conclusion first.
oh,
Yep.
okay. So no members of P belong to the family H. So I do P arrow H with a slash through it.
Yep. Or if it's an H, it's not P. All right. So how would you do the first half of our premise?
So I do C arrow T with a slash through it.
Through what?
Excuse me, through T.
Yep. No C's or T. You do yours backwards than me. I would have wrote that as if T, not C. So but you're doing it right. I just think about it the opposite way.
Yeah, they taught us that no introduces a sufficient, you know.
Oh yeah, no, you're doing yeah, it's right. I just think about it as if I have T, I don't have C, which is the exact same thing. I just think about it the opposite way.
Well, honestly, that makes more mental sense than me. I thought it was really strict that you had to do it.
Well,
Like,
that's just where I use common, like the common sense comes in to like where I don't memorize a bunch of things. I'm like, what essentially is this saying? It's saying if it's a T, it's not a C.
well, it does make more sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you don't have to change what you're still just
No, but I like your way. My way just doesn't make sense. It's based off of rule knowledge, not common sense. So,
which I want people to be able to rely, like if they freeze on test day, just ask yourself, what is this saying? Like if you're going to explain this to someone, like I tell people if you can't eat or you can't have dessert unless you eat your dinner. Like what does that mean if you tell your kid that? Those types of things. It's like, yeah.
if you don't have dinner, you can't have dessert.
Yeah. So if you got dessert, what did that mean you did?
Had dinner.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Let's
So the
keep going.
second part of this one.
Yeah, let's see your way. So all members of P are tracheophytes. So it'd just be P arrow T.
Yep. So if we're P, then we are T. So
Okay.
no member of P is okay. So right now we have P going on. So this is one that we are going to kind of do it the other way, where we have P in our conclusion. But we bring in this new variable, right, about H.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow we need to connect P to H.
So we have to negate the second premise. Right, right?
Well, we actually are going to bring in, potentially, we could negate it, but we have to bring in a new premise that's going to guarantee that if you are P, you're not H, or if you are H, you're not P. So we know that, so for example, let's just look at this premise. If we are P, we know that we're a T, right?
Mm-hmm.
What potentially could we say, what new thing could we say about T that would guarantee that P is not H?
So for P, that no members of tracheophytes are in the family hominid.
Yeah, if you're T and you're not H, that would definitely guarantee it, right? Because then we would know that like if you're a P, you're a T, and if T can't be H, then P couldn't be H either. So that would be a great one.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and start with A and tell me what you think.
All members of the family hominid are tracheophytes. That's not it.
Yeah, that's the opposite, right?
Yeah, that's the opposite of what we want to do.
Excellent.
B, all members of the family hominidae are coordinates. No, that doesn't work because we're not trying to like connect C to H.
Could we though? I'm trying to wait. If all, let's pay attention to this one. So if all H's are C, what do we know about C?
That all C's are not T's. Oh, that's
So,
actually probably the right answer.
how do we negate this one? This
We'd negate it by flipping it and saying T arrow not C, arrow not H. And then if you take out the connecting one, you just have T to not H.
Yep, I bet this is our answer.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to C.
All tracheophytes are members of P. That does not.
Like, cool. We need H somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
No members of the family hominid or chornates.
Yeah, that's not. So if you're a C, you're not an H.
Mm-hmm.
But that has nothing to do with. Yeah. Okay.
And then E, no chordates are members of P.
So if you're P, you're not a C. Once again, it doesn't bring in H at all. So
You could just take out C and E from the get-go on the basis that it doesn't include H.
yeah. Unless somehow like the really tricky ones could somehow have something else that's linked to H. So if it had two things and in our stimulus, one of those things was linked to H. Does that make sense? Like where it triggered it, potentially that could work, but that doesn't happen very often. So like if we had one up above in our premises that said like all C's are H's and then all P's are H's, like if we were talking about P and C in an answer, potentially it could work because that C would trigger the H. But for this one, absolutely, because we don't have that going. We don't have H in our premises whatsoever.